Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We're two friends taking an explorative journey into all things astrology and a little woo. I'm Christine. I'm a creative, intuitive counselor and coach, and astrology enthusiast. We Pisces like to wear all the hats. You can find me on IG at The Dreamy Piscean.
And I'm Shelby. I am a licensed social worker, a big feelings person, and a light skeptic. Here to learn all the astrological things. You can find me on Twitter at Shelby Tweeting, and being a Cancer rising on Instagram at Shelby Cooking Things. Welcome to our show. Welcome back to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Christine.
And we are just here today.
We're just here.
Or
our bodies,
not,
maybe.
Our brains?
I'll give you one. My co-star is gonna tell you where I need to be.
Ooh.
So there's
well,
that.
you know what? Let's just get into it.
Right.
Because I want to know what your co-star says.
We don't want to hear about my week. You know, let's just get right to co-star. So
no, you can tell me about your week, but I want to know how the co-star relates.
So we'll jump in. So it says, okay, it's okay to peek behind the veil of intimacy.
Ooh.
Peek behind it. Peek.
Okay.
I feel like I've been peeking.
What is that?
Sometimes it's a little scary. Close it back. But
I know. What's on the other side of that? What is that? Yeah.
It's a little. So, my dues are gratitude,
Okay.
rooftops, and astral projecting. That's the one.
Ooh. Have you ever astral projected before or like worked on that?
Yes.
Tell me about it. What was your experience of that?
It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
Let me work on the description of that. It's like, it's like, obviously it's like you're away from your body, but like you're also aware of the body. Like, I don't know, I don't know if I'm, an advanced level astral projector, but I've had my
more
experiences. Yeah.
I believe that.
But yeah, like it's all very interesting. Like, I've done some different kind of ritual things to like leave the body or like go into the dreamscape and like all of that kind of stuff. It's all very interesting, and sometimes you're like, all right, and I'm going to take a break from those things because you take a lot in. And you're like, oh, this and oh, this, and there's a lot of stuff coming to you. I'm like, all right, let's just sit with all of that now.
Fair. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot about that.
Oh, no. It's just one of those things like, yeah, it's kind of hard to describe in a way.
Yeah. I feel like I've read a lot about it. I'm interested in it. Lately, I have not been remembering any of my dreams because I've been smoking too much weed. So, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on that. So, but I would like to try it sometime. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, seems like a good day for that, according to the stars.
So that's where I should be, astral projecting, not, doing
Not
this earthly
realm.
shit. Like, I'm not into it. So my don'ts are small spaces, ghost towns, and good versus evil.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like we as Pisceans, I feel like are very open to the idea of nuance, and there's not really a straight good, straight bad. Binaries are usually problematic.
Right? We love a gray area. Like, like let's just be, neutral about it. Let's be in that space.
That's where we live.
That's where we live. We're in neutral land. So that's where my week is. It's time to leave the earthly plane. It's just become too much.
Yeah. It's a heavy energy right now, and we'll get into why that a little bit more in our relatable content. But that seems to be the general feeling for a lot of people right now. But you especially. I've been getting the worst of it, I feel like. Yeah. Christine's I have actually.
It's it's actually been kind of rough. Yep, it's been definitely, again, we're still on the roller coaster. We're just, I don't think we've gone back up, though. This is a really steep one. We've been just steadily just building the tension upwards for weeks now. Yes. I feel like we're going into the dark tunnel part of the roller coaster where you can't see anything. We're going in there.
I don't know what's going to happen. Right. Are you ever going to come out?
Are we going to come out? Yeah, I don't know.
Can I put my hands up? Do I need to hang on? What's happening?
What's going on? Yeah. So, hey, But again, we're Pisceans, we're mutable signs, we're all about change, and we usually can adapt, even though we may feel very woe is me about it.
Right.
But we gonna adapt. Yep.
Yeah. A little angsty.
Angsty. Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how was your week? What's your co-star saying? Talk to me.
Okay. Well, I have not actually even looked at my co-star today.
Ooh.
Which is surprising. I feel like my week has been kind of all over the place. It started out slow because I was still recovering from Halloween for what felt like days after that.
Listen, just can't do it like you used to.
It's Monday and even almost into Tuesday I was okay, why am I still feeling sluggish? And then Wednesday night I had roller derby practice, which was really good, but also just my body is tired. Mm-hmm. And I don't. Then I had a real emotional time last night. And today I don't know. Today I just feel kind of emotionally raw.
Girl, okay, so you too. You the heart chakra is real open. It's open.
I'm saying that there's something in the air.
It's the energy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's I was sitting outside and I was had my Palo Santo and having my incense going, I'm ooh, maybe I need to, get some more. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a little something, bring this energy in, some kind of shield, a guard or whatever. I need to do a spell. I don't know. I'm ooh, I need to cover this. Just, no.
Yeah.
It's too much going on.
I was just thinking, I'm glad that we have kind of a light topic today, and also as soon as we get done with this, I'm gonna smoke a J in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Because I feel that's my most that's my favorite. I'm a big bath person.
Yeah.
I just feel they're very cleansing, very reset. I don't know, but I feel I need that right now. I feel you had your Palo Santo out, and you're doing a little clearing before you came on, and that sounds nice.
Got to do it. Got to. I was give me this. I had it in my desk at work because I thought maybe I could get, and I don't ever remember to bring a lighter, and then I can't never have enough time to actually do a little something real quick, and then get it out.
Right. The fire marshal comes in hey, what are you doing in here? They're so strict
places
about that.
they be burning candles. I'm like, oh, y'all burning candles? Like, I don't think I can burn a candle upstairs with the kids coming in and out. But I'm jealous.
Right. Don't let the fire marshal hear you. They'll be like so mad at you.
I'm telling you. Yes, no. So I took my fresh Palo Santo on home. And I burned it today. I was like, ooh, I need this. I just made sure to get it before I left. Like, let me get this Palo Santo real quick.
Yes. You made the right decision. That was a good call. You needed it more than the kids did today.
Okay. Listen, we trying to...
It's the kids' fault you need it.
The kids, the adults.
I'm not entirely, but, you know. Still.
Everybody.
Yeah. Everybody. Okay, so sorry, I forgot we're doing co-star. Let me see what my co-star is.
I know, I was like, how was I talking about myself again? I don't know how that happens.
There's a lot to talk about, okay? There's lots to talk about. Okay, so my co-star today, it says, play out the consequences beyond the painful part. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
I also feel like it is a little bit similar to yours in that, like, we're like looking past something, kind of looking beyond, like, what's next on the horizon beyond this thing that's right in front of me that's very exciting or not. I don't know. Yeah, there's something to do with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so my do's include stripes.
Oh.
Okay. Grooming, which, okay, that's also... I washed all my makeup brushes today. I was like, this is... That kind of counts as grooming, right? I was putting makeup on before I left the house, and I was like, I don't remember the last time I washed this. That's fucking gross.
It happens.
Do a little self-care moment and clean these.
Clean these brushes.
Yeah, it was gross. Anyway, and then multivitamins, which is crazy because I literally have a tab pulled up on my computer with some multivitamins that I was about to order. So that's great.
Oh wow! Yes.
I was also just telling Jack the other day that, like, I know fucking daylight savings time ends this weekend, and I was like, I'm gonna need to get some vitamin D. I need some, like, I need to get a. Sorry, I wish y'all could see the look that Christine just gave me. See, this is okay. We do need a video component of the podcast because I was like, as soon as it left my mouth, I was like, Christine's gonna say something, and I saw that eyebrow. You were like, you need some vitamin D, huh?
No, my Aries Venus. It's just, it's just right there. It's just right there.
Right there. Right there on the surface. You know what? Maybe I need a little of that too. I just mean, because I'm not going to go outside,
Yes.
We're all a little vitamin D deficient in the winter. It's supposed to help. I don't know.
Yes. I'm with you, girl.
Maybe I need, some vitamin D and a little sunlight lamp or something.
I just want everybody to be having a sexy time. You know what I mean? Like, I just want us all to be just fucking and happy.
We all deserve to have a nice little sexy time, Like, that's what we're here for, literally. Yeah, I'm with it. Okay, so my don'ts include repetition, nostalgia, oof. Okay, yeah, that sounds right. And video games. Oh my god, were you just frozen that whole time?
Yes.
Sorry, you just came back and I was like, Christine hasn't said anything in a long time. I looked up and it was frozen. I was like, oh, that's why. I was just over here talking to myself.
I saw you and I was like trying to wave to you. I was like, I think it's frozen. I was like, I'm just going to be quiet. We can just keep going.
It's cool. We did it.
We're exposed.
Technical difficulties. Thank you guys for continuing to listen, despite the fact that it is very clear we record this podcast at home. I love it. Thanks for rolling with it.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm not supposed to do nostalgia, which is hard for me.
Yeah, it's the Cancer.
I love that.
And the Pisces. Yeah, right.
Right, all of the above, right?
All of the water, yes.
Anyway, so I'll see what I can do about that, but I'll do the multivitamins in the meantime, and maybe we'll balance out somewhere.
Right.
Welcome back, y'all. We're here.
We're here. We're ready. We're ready for the relatable content.
Yes. I'm excited to learn. I feel like Christine's got some stuff for me that's going to explain why we feel the way we feel.
Well, so I wanted to mention the Mars retrograde in Gemini because it started the other day. Was it the 30th? I think it started on October 30th, if I'm not mistaken, and will continue through January 12th of 2023.
So long.
So long. And I can tell you on a personal tip, is, as you know, Shelby, it has been
I know.
working on me. I'm like, at this point, I just want to hermit. I just want to go and hide. I'm just not going to talk to anyone and not do anything.
Right.
But I want to talk a little bit about it. I did a little a Snapchat the other day. It was funny. I was outside smoking. And I just like, let's just have an astrology moment. It was just like,
I saw that. I loved it.
It was great. High thoughts astrology. I'm like, I should do this more often. It's kind of fun.
I would tune in. I would absolutely tune in. Set a live. People can ask questions.
Right.
It's great.
But so Mars retrograde. So we've talked about retrogrades, right? We had a whole episode. If you haven't heard it, I think it's episode 2.
Is that episode 2? Okay, that was early podcasting days.
Yeah,
it's a long episode too.
Not early podcasting days.
I know,
yes,
we've only been doing it for like less than... It's almost been a year.
Yeah, it has. Oh, look.
Yeah.
We'll have a little anniversary. So we talked about retrogrades, and so we know a lot of the things that come up during retrogrades, like about the re's and like redoing things, rethinking, reanalyzing, reorganizing, anything you need to redo it.
Yes.
So if you think about, that being the energy, the retrograde energy, we talk about Mars, and Mars is the planet that governs, our drive and ambition and sex. It's like masculine energy. There's like power, violence, anger, passion. All of those things are encompassed with Mars energy. And then we have Gemini, the sign. And so Gemini gets us, into like communication and thought and the way we, talk with each other, sharing ideas, any kind of communication, technology, social media, things like that. So the Gemini, I think I said on my Snapchat, the Gemini energy kind of makes it feel a little more like a Mercury retrograde.
Oh,
with that, because Mercury is the planet that governs Gemini, and so it kind of gives it that, like, the communication piece. But then you have
Gemini
Mars,
flavor.
Right? The Gemini flavor, a little sprinkling. But then you have Mars, and so Mars just takes that, right, and makes it explosive. Like anything that's coming up is going to be big. Small things become very big things. Things have potential for violence. And just more aggressive behavior. So, or people exerting power. A lot of that kind of energy. So you have to really just be mindful of situations. Even mindful of unprotected sex, apparently. Yeah. That was one of the big warnings that I can continue to see from people. Like, okay, so this is a thing. But also, I mean, Mars, again, sex. So, you know, things could go down. I don't know. Maybe things you don't want to happen. Or just, you know, again, it's retrograde. So just think it over. Maybe twice.
Right.
Don't make any, you know, hasty decisions. Impulsivity is a thing to watch out for, right? That's a Mars trait. Just kind of rolling, jumping before you think about it. And again, Gemini, thinking. So, you know, just slow it down. Slow down the thoughts. Yeah. So that's my real brief on the retrograde.
It's good advice. I feel like I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it. It's also like, I feel like there's just a lot of things happening that are kind of like pushing me to just like slow the fuck down and, you know, take a minute, make some, you know, decisions, but like don't make anything final. Just like think about it, reflect on it, all of that, which I think is just good practice all the time, but like especially right now, it feels like good practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I told you I, you know, had a couple already, at least a couple, you know, communication incidents with the same person during this. Well, one was like right before, so I was like, well, it's the shadow, you know, like things that I did not think would turn into like what they did. I was like, oh shit, like, okay. Like, this is big, well, we're big mad. Okay. Like, interesting. Yeah. But yeah, very Mars retrograde, just, you know, explosive. Like, okay.
I feel like we should insert like a ticking time bomb sound in there somewhere.
Like, all right. Well.
Remind me to do that. Yeah. So... Okay, so we've got the Mars retrograde in Gemini happening right now. Are there any other kind of upcoming, currently happening transits we want to talk about? So,
I won't go into any depth about the Jupiter retrograde. So, Jupiter has been retrograde. It has recently moved back into Pisces. So, so Jupiter is our planet of excess and luck and, you know, wealth and all the abundance, and, you know, it's all the things, right? It's everything, but sometimes it's everything, right? So you know, abundance is abundance, right? It's a lot of whatever. And so retrograding into Pisces, so think about retrograde, so we think about Pisces energy. So I'm just kind of talking now because I don't know. Oh, I'm like, it's taking me. All right. So retrograde in Pisces. So if we think about, you know, I mean, we're Pisces, we're lovely examples, but Piscean energy, you know, it could be an excess of drugs, or, you know, maybe things to watch out for, right? Like taking a lot of drugs. Right. What other things, you know, being
just dissociating,
escapism.
However you do that.
Right.
Maybe just watch out for doing that in excess.
Yes. Like just excess of all of those things. But also there could be excess, and, you know, it could go the other direction. But again, Jupiter is excess. So it's like, you just gotta be mindful of doing too much.
Right. Right. So just, pull back a little bit. It's a good time for that.
Yes. So, also, just to give you a run through of some like important November transits coming up here, we have on the 8th of November a full lunar eclipse in Taurus. I can't remember if that's the last lunar eclipse for the year, but we're coming up on the end, I think, of eclipse season, so I think it might be. But this, this could be an interesting one as well. So just, keep your vibes tight. On the 16th, Venus enters Sagittarius. Could be a fun time. On the 17th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. Oh, okay, we're about to have a stellium. On the 22nd, the Sun enters Sagittarius. Ooh. So we'll be in Sag season. And on the 23rd, we have a new moon in Sagittarius.
Ooh, I feel like this year I was like, oh my God, it's almost Sag season, which is crazy to me. I feel like we were literally just in Pisces season like 2 days ago, even though it's literally been months. Like, it's kind of crazy. This year has flown by.
It is. I mean, I feel like every year I say that, and it's like, but it seems like so much shorter every year. It's like, people say like they feel like time speeds up as you get older. Like, it's like, man, I'm losing. Man, okay, like I'm here. Like, how am I almost 40? Like, how did I get here? Like, wait a minute. I just remember being excited about being 30, and like, okay, now we're like, we're about to be 38. Like, okay, that's interesting. Like, and just not ever, like not ever having a picture of like, what did I think life was going to be like right now? Or like, no clue.
Right.
Yeah.
Whew.
But, yes, we have the last transit, is on the 23rd, Jupiter goes direct in Pisces. So we're going to have a lot of Sagittarius energy. And we've got a little sprinkling of Taurus and Pisces, with Taurus with our lunar eclipse on the 8th is a full lunar eclipse. And Jupiter going direct in Pisces on the 23rd. I'm trying to see, I think there was something else. Oh, there's a little like to-dos or advice. So these tweets are from @woman_of_the_womb. And so it says, with all the changes, transformation, endings, and new beginnings taking place, this is an important time for rest, self-care, staying grounded, journaling, accepting the flow instead of working against it, and trusting that things are working in your favor. This is a highly energetic time, so take extra care of your mental health and do what's necessary to keep your energy protected. The full moon on November 8th will be the last total lunar eclipse until 2025. Ooh. So it's also the first time in U.S. history that an election has aligned on a total lunar eclipse.
Oh, what does that mean? So that
could be interesting, right?
Yeah. That sounds like it would be crazy. Like, I don't know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
But it means something.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh. So for our, U.S. listeners, because we have, a lot of international. Also, we have some new countries. I meant to mention that before. But I think one of them South Africa. I think it's India and South Africa were the two countries I saw that were new. I was like, come on.
We're so excited to have you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yes. But for our U.S. listeners.
We're in the United States, and it's trash here.
Right. So, y'all do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your civic duty, please.
Please. I know it's not going to save us, but, do it anyway.
Please, let's just make an effort. Yeah, just make any efforts we can. But yeah, that's our relatable content from me. Do you have anything for us?
I did have a couple of funny tweets just for some levity.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of transits happening right now. I don't have any celebrity birth charts this week. I was telling Christine that I was trying to find a good celebrity best friend pair so we could do their charts, and I could not find any that I was interested in. It was just a bunch of like all these lists that I found were all these like kind of older celebrities, and I was just like, I just don't feel related to any of them. Like,
I don't feel connected in this way.
Yeah, none of them really called to me. So anyway, okay, so I have a few. I've been sending funny tweets that I find to the podcast account, but this one I found the other day. Did you watch the original Teen Mom when it came out on MTV?
Yes.
Like way back.
Yeah.
Do you remember Janelle?
Yes. I'm trying to pull. I know the name, and I feel like I know the story-ish, but I would have to be refreshed.
She was, I feel like I can say this. She's kind of white trash, and her mom was really annoying, and she was dating some like motocross kind of dude or whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
The meme is a picture of her just like staring very blankly forward in her car. And it says, I have to smoke to get rid of the feelings that I'm feeling so I don't feel them for hours. And somebody quote tweeted that and said, the moon is in Pisces.
Listen.
And that was yesterday.
That's
and I was
real.
like, oh, okay.
Sounds relatable to me.
Mm-hmm. What else did I have? Yeah, and then I found another tweet from the witch astrologer just talking about how, the moon is in Pisces, and the signs that might feel a little bit more emotional because of that are Pisces, obviously, us, that makes sense, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini, and I'm sure that there is a reason for all of that, but I did not read any more past that.
Sure didn't.
You know what? All I know is I could feel it.
I could feel it.
The other one I found, it was not actually related. I feel like I'm pulling a Dustin here because this is not actually related to astrology at all. But it was a funny tweet that I feel like I could relate to as a Pisces. Do you know about, have you ever seen Reductress? It's like a magazine website. It's kind of like The Onion. It's like satire, but it's usually about like women specifically. And
Okay.
it's just like these ridiculous headlines that aren't real but are very funny. And I came across this tweet from them, and it's a link to an article, and it says, "Woman risks entire career and livelihood for 15 more minutes of sleep." And I was like, yep. Mm-hmm.
I feel
That's
that.
me.
Yeah.
Every day. It's a very Piscean experience.
We like our sleep. Like, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to go to sleep. And yeah, why not?
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk to you about our astrological best friends.
Hi, my name's Logan McCoy. I am a Capricorn sun sign, and my best friend Emily is a Taurus sun sign. I think we are really compatible and really good friends because we both have like super goofy sides. It's really fun to get together and just be like super fucking weird, and it's nice because I feel like I can truly be myself with Emily, like 100%. It doesn't matter how weird it gets because I know she'll match me 100%, and I love it. Yeah, she's just the best. So that's it.
Hey, buddy, it's your friend Claire. I have a best friend with a very similar chart to mine, and she's the coolest. Her name is Brittany. Not my wife, Brittany, a different Brittany. But I am a Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Leo rising, and she is a Virgo sun, Capricorn moon, Sagittarius rising. So Earth, Earth, Fire is a very, very fun combo. And we do walk through the world in very different ways.
Okay, so Taurus, Pisces, compatibility in our friendship. I feel like as a Taurus, I probably encourage her to be a little bit more straight up and maybe have her guard up a little bit more when it comes to collecting acquaintances. And as a Pisces, she's more touchy-feely and tries to encourage me to maybe be a little bit nicer to people. Um, but I think ultimately, maybe astrology aside, what makes us most compatible in our friendship is that we both understand the art of having of having that good girl facade while high key being the fucking problem. Like we are the drama, but often overlooked as the problematic person in the relationship every single time. It's kind of incredible. It's a skill. It's a craft.
Welcome back, y'all.
Hey, we're back.
We're back, and we're here to talk about our Zodiac Besties.
Our Zodiac Besties. I love this topic. I'm not going to lie, Shelby. Your screen is definitely frozen. I can hear you fine, but your face is in one place.
You know what?
We might have to roll with it.
That's okay.
Oh, here it's coming back.
That's okay. We'll see what we can do. If you can hear me.
Right. I was like, I can hear you
fine.
great, so we could just keep going. I was like, but your face is definitely, it's frozen in one place.
You guys, we're trying to have this nice episode where we talk about our friends and we feel nice feelings, and the technology just won't let us live.
It just won't let us live. I'm like, okay, whatever. But yeah, so let's talk about our friends. You know, I feel like a song inserts here, but you know, it's like, you know, can't have music. So I put some things in our outline for our show, and I don't really have any particular order that I want to go in, but I want to just, you know, talk about our friends. So maybe we'll flip it and we'll talk first about just ourselves.
Okay.
Let's talk about ourselves first.
Love it. I love doing that. That's why we have a podcast, right? Okay, so at this point in the show, if I have done this correctly, you will have heard a couple of voice notes already. So as you all know, on the last few episodes, we've asked people to submit voice notes and talk about their best friends and their astrological compatibility. And so you've heard a couple of examples already. But I will say, I know for a fact that, well, all of the voice notes that we got are from friends of ours, and two of them I know for sure talked about me, which I asked them to submit a voice note because they're my friends and they listen to the podcast. I did not ask them specifically to talk about me, but they did, and so I'll talk a little bit about that relationship, but yeah, there's just like a couple of funny things around that. But yeah, I think I've talked about a lot of my friends before on the podcast. A lot of earth signs, a fair amount of Sagittarians. And I think that the Gemini in me is like very attracted to that. What about you? Where do you find that most of your friends land on the astrological chart?
So the funny thing was, when I originally was like, oh, we should come back to this topic again, it was because I was sitting with like kind of a realization about friends. Like, oh, I've had a lot of Aquarius friends. Like, I've had a lot of Aquarius friends like that were very close. I'm like, oh, I never really put that together. And so I thought about like my two childhood best friends were both Aquariuses. And we had our little group. We called it the 3 C's. This is my little elementary school group. We had the 3
That's
C's.
So cute.
It was very exclusive, girl. Your name had to start with a C. Except for,
right, obviously.
then there was another girl that, our parents said had to be part of the group. Which love this girl. But like, this is how it started. So there was 3 C's and an S. And it was like, well, C's, I mean, could make just the S like, I don't know. Anyway. So, but my two best friends at that time were both Aquariuses. One of my current best friends is an Aquarius. I feel like one of my high school best friends is an Aquarius. Like, it seems like just kind of over the years, like, definitely very good, like, best friends with, like, Aquarius women, and, like, specifically. Right. I do make friends with Aquarius men, though none of those have not been non-sexual. They've all been sexual.
Yes. I knew what you meant. I knew what you were getting at.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, and there still remains like a friendship. So I think that's a quality, just, you know, and that's part of Aquarius also is like friendship, that 11th house, all of that. So I think that definitely develops as like, there's always a component of friendship, even if there's like other things. So, yeah, like there's been a lot of that. I definitely have had a mix of other people. One of my best friends from high school, still one of my best friends, she's a Leo. One of probably my best friend from grad school, still one of my best friends. We just kind of lost touch for a while, but she's Taurus. So Pisces and Taurus are like those kind of classic, you know, compatible signs. I'm trying to, just like, I get a good mix, like, but like a lot of Aquarius, but so I feel like that makes sense in a way. Like, we're at the end, you know, I think Aquarius is like, it's a sign that, you know, they like to be different. Like, they're the ones that say, like, I'm not from here. And Pisces is the sign that's like, I'm not here right now.
I'm not from here, and I'm not here right now. And so we relate on those levels. That really tracks for me. Yeah. I don't feel like I know as many Aquarians per se. Well, I know a few, but they're not like close friends necessarily. And I think that's just like circumstance. Like, I haven't met any Aquarians, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I know more than just the couple that I'm thinking of, but yeah.
They're, you know, they're very, I'm different, and they're, you know, it's an interesting energy because it's almost like they're similar. Like, I've seen some different people talk about how, like, Pisces are the people think Aquariuses are and all that kind of stuff. Right. And I think that kind of comes from the different, I think I have a note on this somewhere, but if you think about the modalities of the energy, so our cardinal signs, fixed signs, mutable signs. So Pisces is a mutable sign, right? And so we're very malleable, changeable, like we kind of flow with, with the tides. But Aquarius is a fixed sign. So Aquarius is like, is accepting. Yeah. Like, and they're different and they're innovative, all those things, but like, it's still a very fixed energy. So like, they're not as adaptable as Pisceans.
You know what? I forget that they are, a fixed sign, but that also really tracks for the ones that I know. They're all just like, just a little bit stubborn. Just a little bit.
Yep. There's some things that they are hard on. And you're like, oh, okay, that's a line for you. So they definitely have that. And of course, Pisces, like, what are those? What are boundaries? What are lines?
Right.
That's that energy. And so we're very accepting of each other. And I think that's what makes that relationship work. We just kind of like, we're weird and goofy and all the things, and we accept each other. But yeah, there are definitely, some differences in there too.
Yeah. So I have a couple of friends who did not want to record a voice note per se, but they did give us a little insight into their astrological friendship. So I was going to just read you a couple, and then we'll talk a little bit about them and just kind of see, what lines up. So the first one is my friend Katie, who's like a newer friend, and she's a Leo. Which, like, in my head, I don't think that Leo and Pisces go together super well, but she is also a Scorpio moon, and I think we kind of connect on that, water sign energy level a little bit. So Katie says, I'm a Leo, sun and rising. So a lot of Leo energy going on there. Which also just a fascinating chart to think about, because a Leo, sun and rising and a Scorpio moon, that's not what we're talking about, but like feels like very different energy, right?
Yeah. A lot of like
Kitty.
Strong energy too, like on all fronts.
Yes.
A lot of strong energy.
Yeah. Exactly. So can't wait to talk to her about that later. But so she said her best friend of like 17 years, so a very long time, is a double Scorpio. So technically speaking, we shouldn't actually be friends, but because I'm a Scorpio moon, we have some things in common, right? She said, we're also both insane, so that helps. We both very much love the drama and are very extra and very intense, feeling all the feelings. And she said, we also literally look like the stereotypical Leo-Scorpio friendship. She is very much kind of a goth queen, as Katie describes it, and Katie is not that at all.
Right.
So
That's
yeah,
cute.
and so they were just... She talked about that, and then she talked about how, she's kind of having this realization that she has, like, a lot of big feelings and a lot of, like, sad girl energy with that Scorpio moon. And her friend actually has, like, a lot of, like, kind of fiery, angry energy because of some other signs in her chart. And I don't know, that's an interesting mix to me, but it makes sense for the reasons she described.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing about compatibility and all of that is like, I mean, there's all kinds of combinations, obviously, that could actually work. And so when we just talk about our sun signs, of course, that doesn't give a full picture. And so it sounds like definitely there's connections in other areas, like definitely the moon. And like, I mean, again, when we talk about the moon, we're talking about, that emotional inner life. So if we can connect there, especially, as women, I am assuming you said women?
Yes.
Women. We love to connect on an emotional level. And so that moon energy connection is important, especially that building those intimate relationships. So things that last for 17 years, like, I could see that being a connection, but also some of that other energy kind of bouncing off, keeping it spicy and fun.
Yeah. And so off the top of your head, I don't remember off top. Do you remember what the modality of Leo and Scorpio are?
Leo, look, I can probably count it down. Leo, I believe, is fixed. It's the fifth sign.
That makes sense to me.
The
fixed fire sign.
So that's 5, 6. Cardinal. So Scorpio is also fixed. Sorry, I had to really count that out because it goes in like threes. So I'm like counting down, like, okay, 5 and then 8. So they're both fixed.
So I wonder if that is, it's interesting, like when you put two fixed signs together, would you find that they would clash more, or do you think that they would like see eye to eye on a lot of things?
I think if they are in agreement on the things, they will be fine. I think if they're not in agreements, they will clash. Because,
I gotcha.
That fixed energy isn't moving.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if they would have a similar worldview in some aspects because of that at all. Yeah. So yeah, that's, I think, an interesting pair.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I had a couple other people message me. Let's see. Oh, okay. So my friend Ray, who I took one class with him forever and ever ago, and we've just followed each other on social media since then. And post, you have those friends that you don't really see in any other context, but I'm like, I like what you're posting. And he's like kind of vice versa. Like just, you know, an interesting, cool person. We don't live in the same city, like literally have not interacted for real in real life outside of that one class, but cool person overall. He messaged me and said that he is a Capricorn, or no, sorry, he is a Virgo, but his best friend is a Capricorn. And that to me tracks just because they're both earth signs. Yeah,
definitely.
I feel like, again, the seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, two earth signs are probably going to be pretty compatible. They're going to want to do a lot of the same activities, especially Virgo and Capricorn. Like, Taurus, maybe not, could fit in there. But especially those two.
They're going to work. Together, they're going to work. Literally, they're going to work. And enjoy it. You know, they have goals, and they, you know, they will reach goals, and they, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah. On that same note, so Jack, his best friend, so Jack is a Taurus, obviously. My husband is a Taurus. We talked about that a million times. And his best friend, I had not really thought about this until today, but he is a Virgo. And they,
look at that. See?
It's interesting because they have a dynamic where I feel like they really push each other, like in a good way to kind of, you know, do more. But I also feel like I've watched them have a lot of like intense conversations because they don't always agree. But it's always like, yeah, it's just fun to watch because they kind of communicate in a similar way. And I don't know, just watching two earth signs interact with each other just feels like such a foreign concept to me.
Right.
Because there's so much like direct communication. I'm just like, God damn. Y'all are just doing it, huh?
Listen, I'm telling you, I mean, this is not related to best friends in the sense, like, just communicating. I was talking with a kid in my room today, and she was going into this story, and as she was talking, I was trying to think about, like, what sign I thought she was, or what, like, element energy, because I was like, wow, this is not in any way how I would handle this situation. Like, so I'm like, that's so water
even
sign
of
me. Right. I'm like, this is not, okay, that's what happened. Okay. That's what you said.
Okay,
next?
And that's
right.
That's what you decided on. All
right.
Okay.
I mean, and just like the way the story progressed, I was like, okay. Now again, it wasn't, you know, obviously all of that wasn't, you know, astrological, but like just like the way, you know, personality wise, I'm like, what do I think this child's sign is? I'm like, it's got to be fire or air, because like, and I wanted to like, well, in that moment, just look up in the system, see when her birthday was real quick.
Sometimes it's really just an interesting little tidbit of information.
It is.
To understand people just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just a little bit better.
Because that communication piece is really interesting, like the way people communicate with each other. And like we know Pisces tend to be more passive in general in communication. I don't have a Pisces Mercury, but like there's enough energy that, you know, kind of makes it a little more passive. But yeah, like it's interesting.
It is. So I'm going to tell a story really quick, and then I will place her voice note after this segment because it fits in really well. But I had a moment this weekend where, so my friend Sierra, very good friend. Also, I realized while we were talking about this that my two very best friends, Sierra and Victoria, the three of us together, also when you were talking about the 3 C's, I was thinking the three of us together are a CVS, which is just very funny to me. But anyway, she was at my Halloween party this weekend. Have you ever seen the movie The Fifth Element?
It's been a long time, but yes.
Okay. She was the girl with the orange hair. That was her costume.
Okay, yes.
And she had the little wig on or whatever. And she, so one thing about me, the Cancer rising really pops out after I've had a couple drinks, and I start wanting to tell everyone that I love them and that I'm so glad that they came to my house to celebrate Halloween. And like, you know, I'm having this moment where I'm like coming up to her and I'm just like, I'm so glad you're here. And like, I'm like about to start talking and say like, I I just love you. I'm just so happy you're here. And she turns around and she shakes her wig back and forth and she goes, I feel Puerto Rican. And like those two moments happened at the same time, and I was like, this is our friendship. This is our friendship in a nutshell. It is me trying to have an emotional moment and like tell you how much I love you and like be all up in my feelings, and you're over here just being goofy as hell, and it really works. Just like I never know what the fuck she's about to say. She's one of the funniest people I've ever met. And you mentioned Mercury, and I was also trying to think about, okay, so I have an Aries Mercury, so I'm a little bit more of, there is a little bit more direct communication. Mm-hmm. But also I have Aquarius, Venus, and Mars, so I don't know, I like things to be a little bit weird, I guess. I just really appreciate
yeah, like
somebody who can be a little goofy and a little weird.
Yeah, I like it a little different. Yeah, I'm into it.
It really made me laugh. So anyway,
I love it. Not Puerto Rican, like.
Have you seen that? Okay, she was trying to do the TikTok. Okay,
yes, I knew exactly the reference. That's why I was down. I was just like. I'm down.
Also, the wig, it was just like very, it was just a very funny, like bright orange bob wig. It was very silly. Yeah.
Just good times.
So, I'm trying to think. Let me see if I have any other final thoughts. Okay, actually, we're reporting live right here because I just got a message from Jack's friend Taylor, because he was telling me earlier he was trying to record a voice note, but his microphone is broken on his phone. And I was like, just send me a DM and I'll read it on the podcast or whatever. So these are the two earth signs that I was talking about a few minutes ago.
Okay.
And he said, I'm a Virgo, Jack's a Taurus. Jack is a lot more technical and logical than I am. I'm a little bit more impulsive, but sometimes to a fault. And we're compatible because we can kind of balance each other out. If he's hyper-focused on something, or if I'm thinking too broad, like too boundlessly, I'm more of an ideas person and he can execute better, which I think is really interesting. I actually would really like to look at the rest of his chart.
That's exactly what I thought.
Right? I'm like, he has some Aquarius. He has some Aquarius stuff somewhere.
It's definitely not Virgo. I'm like, he's the Virgo? Like, he's talking about boundless, and
right.
Jack is technical, and you're the one that, like, okay, wait a minute. Do you have some Pisces in there? Like, you're getting a little something.
He must have some other... I'm going to ask him to get his birth time, because I would really like to look at his chart.
That's really interesting.
He's very creative. He's Taylor, but he's AKA Wig. He's a rapper. He's great. He's find him on the internet. Go
ahead.
We love him.
Wig.
But yeah, that is interesting because that is not what I would assign a typically Virgo trait.
Right. So I'm like, okay, so two earth signs. I'm like, but the way he was describing, I'm like, oh, okay. Like every time he said something, I'm like, oh.
And you're the Virgo? Are you sure?
Right. This is the Virgo talking? Okay. Well, let's pull back. Like, okay, it must be something else working.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel that's the sun sign.
Right. And even with Jack being kind of the more analytical, like he's got some Aries in there, so he's, there's a lot of other things going on with him that are still, related to his birth chart, but not necessarily to his sun sign. So that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
So interesting. I love it.
Yeah.
I was analyzing the relationships.
Same. This is the most fun part about astrology for me, is learning other people's stuff.
And I'm telling you. Oh, go ahead.
Analyzing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That was it. Just analyzing it. It's so fun.
Yes. So I got a composite, or I got a book the other day on composite charts and like getting deeper into them. And I've been like immersed. And it's just so interesting when you start getting into like the composite charts And I'm trying to, I don't remember if we've talked about them in any detail on the podcast.
We have, but I don't know if it was a recorded conversation. So do you want to just
I'll give
like
a brief. So you have synastry, which talks about compatibility. That's a synastry chart. And then you have a composite chart, which kind of talks about like the actual relationship, like and how it is going to develop over time. And so all of it is really interesting. But so your composite chart is basically like you and this other person and you become one. Like, so it's one chart. So together you have your own sun, moon, rising, all of that, for the two of you. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting. All of the, placements and the things, what everything, how it all makes sense and works together. I definitely fully investigated a composite chart.
I heard.
Yes, and it was very interesting information. A lot of it that has already kind of presented itself, and so that's also really interesting because short time really knowing this person, but like a lot of that stuff I can already see. So it's interesting. Yeah, like it's just, more ways to understand your relationships, understand yourself. Good stuff.
Yeah, and you can do a composite chart for, like, I don't know. I just think that'd be fun to do with like your partners, with your friends, with your coworkers, like depending on what aspect you're looking at. I don't know. There's just so much information there. I really have been meaning to do a composite chart with me and like some friends and just kind of see. I've not gotten around to it, but it's fun. It's just more information. There's always more information.
I mean, I recommend getting a book and like diving in because there's every little detail obviously matters, like all the aspects and how they relate to each other, but like there's so much and it's all very interesting. So do we want to talk about some best friend matches?
What is it, what do the stars say are like the best, most compatible best friends?
So let me pull up my little article here. So we're gonna hit everybody. Oh, this isn't the one. This is the one. So yeah, we're gonna hit everybody and just give you a little food for thought, if you will, about your friendships. So we'll start at the top with Aries. So energetic Aries needs friends who can match their exuberance and excitement. They're always on the go and aren't ones to sit around talking about their feelings, at least not until you get to know them. So the best friendship match for Aries are going to be fellow fire signs. So that's Leo and Sagittarius. So it says they can really vibe with Aries, like fiery antics.
Right. That makes sense.
Right. So that's a good one for Aries. So next we have Taurus. So Taurians everywhere are going to be sick of hearing this, but this bullish sign can be pretty stubborn. This means it can be hard for them to put themselves out there and make new friends. When they do, they tend to cling to them and act possessiveness. So Taurus, while fellow earth signs Capricorn and Virgo are always a safe bet, Taurus can get a lot out of a friendship with Cancer and Pisces.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Just need that just that water energy to just soothe it, just calm it just a little bit.
Feel your feelings.
Yeah, feel. You don't have to just be stubborn all the time. It's okay. It's okay to let go.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. So next we have Gemini. So as the most adaptable sign in the zodiac, finding friendship isn't something Gemini typically struggles with. Keeping them, on the other hand, is tiring for the work. It's tiring work for the twins who just love to try out new things, but occasionally forget about their longtime besties.
No.
Geminis are a lot of fun, and everyone around them respects their ability to seamlessly weave between different social circles. So the best friendship matches for Geminis are going to be Aries and Gemini. And so they're like partners in crime.
Okay.
So that's Gemini. Gemini. Also, you can always, I feel like with any sign, of course, like in your element, that's a safe area. But as far as, we're talking besties here. Gemini needs a partner in crime. So next is Cancer. So these sensitive crabs have a rock solid outer shell and have a hard time opening up to reveal their soft interior. That means they need lots of support and encouragement from their friends. Cancers do best when surrounded by people who listen to them with open minds and hearts. So the best matches for Cancer for friendship are going to be our fellow water signs, Scorpio and Pisces. But Cancer and Pisces are going to share a similar level of sensitivity and never judge one another for their feelings. Something Scorpio could learn a thing or two about. Taurus also has a level of dedication, trust, and security that Cancers are going to gravitate towards.
Okay. Yep.
So makes sense. This makes sense, right? Yeah. So next we have Leo. Our fiery Leos burn through a lot of friendship in their lives. They're a lot to handle and love to be the center of attention. Leos are the friends you invite out when you're in need of entertainment, since they'll always put on a show. Right. So the best friendship match for Leo is going to be, again, our fellow fire signs. So the Sages and the Aries out there. They're often by their side for all their theatrics. But when they need a quiet night in, and even, yes, Leo needs that quiet night. Aquarius is a great match for Leos.
Oh, interesting. That makes sense. I could see it.
Yeah. Because Aquarius is going to, rope you into their conspiracy theories.
They will do that.
Yes. They they don't mind a quiet night in. Come on, let's talk about, the flat earth or whatever. I don't know. So Virgo is our next sign. These careful, meticulous creatures can be cautious and a little judgmental when it comes to making new friends. But that's only because Virgos know that good friendships take time, and they're definitely worth putting in the work for. That one, just resonated a little bit, just for some personal reasons. But the best friendship match for Virgos are going to be their fellow earth signs. Those are automatics. But also, Scorpios can be another surprising but powerful match in friendship with Virgos. These are two cautious signs, and they share an ability to think and analyze deeply. They believe in that, thinking and analyzing. And so Virgo's ability to support their friends also matches Scorpio's intense loyalty.
Yep.
So those make sense. Libra, our lover sign. Love or hate, we'll see. Represented by the scales, Libras need balance and aren't ones for dramatic friendships. They like to be liked. Ruled by Venus, Libras are great communicators, and their friends often lean on them for mediation during times of conflict. So the best friendship matches for Libra, of course, are fellow air signs, Gemini and Aquarius. But Aries can also be a fruitful match since these two both have what each other lacks.
We like it.
Yeah,
a friendship that kind of pushes each other.
A little push-pull. All right, so our Scorpios, it's Scorpio season right now. Happy birthday, Scorpios. Scorpios have a strong presence in their friend groups. They are fierce, passionate, and loyal, making them ride or die besties. That said, they can be a little cutthroat and tend to sever friendships that aren't serving them.
Well,
Scorpion, that get you.
You're right.
So
cut that shit off.
Listen, cut it. Then no fear, no hesitation. They're just cutting you off. So the best friendship match for Scorpio are Earth signs. So that's our Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns. They are going to provide the steadiness and support that Scorpio craves.
Okay.
Taurus tends to be a good match for Scorpio because they both share initial secrecy that can slowly develop into friendship of late night deep talks about the meaning of life. While fellow water signs, Pisces and Cancer, are also good matches for Scorpio because they all share the same powerful intuition and emotional depth.
I like it.
It sounded like you were connecting to something over there.
It just makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. So next we have Sagittarius. Sagittarius needs friends they can call at the last minute who will drop everything to go on an adventure with no questions asked. The independent zodiac sign is totally fine by themselves. So their friendships have to really add something to their lives in order for it to be worth their while. So the best matches for Sagittarius are their fire sign friends, Leo and Aries. But not many realize this, but Sagittarius has a serious side. They care a lot about social justice and politics. And so for these kinds of conversations, Sagittarius can get a lot of support from a friendship with Aquarius, since this sign is motivated by the greater good of the world.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? So Aquarius and Sagittarius. So our last earth sign here is Capricorn. Straight talking Capricorn doesn't have time for fickle friendships. Either you stick with them until the end or you get left in the dust. All right now. Capricorns tend to be all work and no play, so they need friends who will support their ambitions rather than distract them. All right.
Okay.
Yes. So best friendship matches are, of course, our earth signs, Virgo and Taurus. But Virgo and Capricorn have a similar drive and pragmatic approach to accomplishing their goals. So, that was another couple. Sorry. Go. Yeah, I'm going. They both appreciate each other's ability and stability in friendship. Cancer is also a friend who will have Capricorn's back, which is something Capricorn has a lot of respect for. Cancer, though, sometimes might be too emotional for Capricorn. And so that can bring a lot of calmness to the usually high-strung earth sign.
I love that. I'm just imagining like a Cancer Capricorn friendship, and like I could see a Capricorn getting very easily annoyed with someone who's just like doing a little bit too. If the Capricorn doesn't also have some water sign energy in the chart somewhere, it could. Yeah, I could see it.
That makes me think of, our friend Caroline, She's a Capricorn. And I'm like, how does she put up with me? But she also has, she's a Cancer rising. And she's also Aquarius moon. So, like, there's, you know, she got some different stuff going on.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's definitely the times when it's like, I'm talking to the Capricorn, but there's always, you know, the Cancer rising really, like, makes everything softer. It's just like, it's very like, yeah, you know, that probably wasn't a good idea, friend. You know?
Softening those edges just a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's like never judgment, but just like, yeah, that's probably not best. Just gonna give me that grounded, just really grounded, like advice.
Yes.
I'm like, I can count on it.
She's so good for that.
Yes, yes. She's just like, maybe you should have a plan.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Say so.
But just always in the most like, yeah, it's a great blend. It's a great blend.
Mm-hmm.
Like it works. So our next sign is Aquarius. As the humanitarian of the zodiac, Aquarius believes in openness and equality. In their eyes, everyone is their friend, and there is no such thing as rankings. They are the unique friend who drifts between groups and bails out on group activities last minute to go do yoga in the park alone or feed stray cats. That is so Aquarius. Like, just random. Just random. Just like, literally will bail and will have been just doing something random or just off thinking.
Okay, can I just say for like a hot second, I've been like trying to place like where because I have a lot of Aquarius placements, and like I said, both my Venus and Mars are in Aquarius.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to figure that out. Like, I've been trying to figure out what that means for me.
Yeah.
And in this, as you will, listener, have probably heard by now, Victoria, one of my very, very best friends in the whole world, one of the things that she said about me and what makes us compatible is that she, being a Taurus, helps me be a little bit more discerning around who I should have as a friend, because I'm like pretty open to just like, yeah, okay, cool, let's be friends. Anyway, come on in. And she kind of helps me be a little bit more discerning, but I think that maybe the Aquarius, Venus, and Mars shows, like, that is one of the ways in which it shows up for me. I'm just open to, like, come on in. Like, yeah, we can be friends. Why not?
Yes.
Yeah. Also, sometimes I do like to bail on a group activity to do absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah. I think that's very Pisces, too. Just like, I think I'm going to cancel.
Yeah. Anyway,
so,
sorry for that tangent.
No, you're good. Like, and speaking of Pisces, our last sign, symbolized by the fish and the ocean, Pisces is awash with emotion and needs friends who will be gentle with them and cautious about their sensitivity. And that's where Caroline, the Cancer rising, just helps. Pisces loves physical affection and is the kind of friend you go to when you're in need of a hug and some kind of advice. Absolutely. So the best matches for Pisces are, of course, our fellow water signs, Cancer and Scorpio. They're intuitively recognizing what is on Pisces' mind without even having to say it, right? Cancer and Pisces are good together because Cancer is deeply sympathetic and happy to talk things through. Scorpio and Pisces are great because Scorpio is fiercely loyal and ready to fight off anyone who will hurt them.
Okay,
Scorpio is, again, the ride or die.
So my good friend Christina, my good friend Christina is a Scorpio, and we had a conversation. We've talked on the phone several times since, like, you know, long distance friendship, trying to keep it up. But I was talking to her the other day, and I can't remember how we got here, but at one point in the conversation, she was like, I would die for you. And I was like, what? I hope it never comes to that, but I really appreciate you saying it. And she's so serious about it. Like, she has like 5 or 6 Scorpio placements, like an insane amount. And she is that to a T, but just like so loyal and ready to fight.
Yes. Ride or die. I'm telling you, ride
Literally.
or die.
Definition of a ride
Don't
or
fight
die.
them for you. Yes. So the last one for Pisces is going to be Capricorn. And it says Capricorn has the kind of dependability the Pisces needs and can provide structure to the scattered fish. Pisces, on the other hand, can bring calmness to Capricorn's work-filled life and teach them to find enjoyment in life.
Aw,
Yes.
that's so nice.
Right?
My friend,
So nice.
my friend Logan is a Capricorn.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, we're like, not new friends, but I don't know, we live in the same city for the first time in a long time, or ever, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I could really see how we can kind of do that for each other. That's nice.
Yes. See, we love all of our signs, you know.
All of them.
Pisces,
I mean,
we're
I
so
feel like,
accepting.
yeah, we are very, as I just said, open to all kinds.
Yes. So, I'm going to skip the next part.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
there we've got some information on, like, you know, signs that are the friendliest. And we can come back to that at a different time. But yeah, like, I think this was a great, like, chit chat about some of our besties.
Yeah, just reflecting on some of our own experiences, and I don't know, it's just I would encourage you to, like, anybody to, like, find out what your close friends, you know, charts look like, and I don't know, just, like, it's a fun activity to do together. Like, what makes you compatible, or where might you find differences? Just take a look. Take a look.
Yes. just yeah, study. Just get some reading in. Like, it helps. It so helps you understand. It's just like, it's such a great tool. Like, the more I find out about other people's astrology, I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, like, it helps me make decisions about how I even engage with them. Like, oh, you know what, that might not be. Nah. And sometimes I don't think about it at all. And then, you know, things happen. I'm like, oh, that was that. That was
yeah,
that came
did
out.
make sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts before we take another quick break?
I think that's it.
All right, y'all. We are back, and we're here to wrap up the show.
Let's do it. See, things are falling. Things are falling. I'm like, see, things are making loud noises. Keith is in the
can't
room.
win.
You know.
Y'all, it's a good thing that there's only one more episode left in this season, because
Keith's
we're a
here saying
mess.
hello.
Hi, Keith. Hi, baby.
Hey, Simba.
Well, friend, do you have a Pisces moment this week, or do we just? I feel like we've been over this. I don't feel like I have one. Do you have anything?
Girl, we already know. Like, again, my life is just one big Pisces moment. Just,
We're living.
I did cry at work today, so we talked about that. You know, that's my Pisces moment of the week. I didn't cry at work. I didn't cry in front of people. I was in private, but I couldn't even get home.
That
Like,
tracks.
it's midday.
Yep.
It's just a little cry.
A nice private cry at work.
I was like about to eat my lunch and it just started. I'm like, okay, well, just go ahead and get it out, girl, so we can continue on with the day.
Yep. Sometimes you just gotta let it go, sit in the feeling for just a second, and then be like, all right,
we're
past
done.
it.
Okay. Yep. And that's kind of how it was. So, yep, that's my Pisces moment of the week in life.
Yeah. I feel like I'm having a similar, I guess, I don't know, I just feel like I'm having a little bit of a Pisces moment of the week in that, like, I feel like I've been doing a lot of, like, taking in and, like, talking other people through their energy and, like, what's going on with them and stuff, and then they'll be like, how are you? And I'll be like, I'm fine, don't worry about me, like, we're here to talk about you, we're not... And then I'll go and then have a nice, you know, private cry by myself. But yeah, I'm, you know, dissociating from the feelings is very common these days.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're full into dissociation. Yes, but
That's it.
things keep moving, so we're rolling with it, but we're crying while we're rolling with it.
Exactly. Any other thoughts before we get out of here tonight?
No, I think we should just spell it out and get
Let's
out.
spell it out. Spell it out.
Spell
get
it out
out
and get out.
I like it. All right,
So,
Christine, where can they find us?
yeah, like if you want to, message us, you can always, drop us some voice notes, anything you're thinking about the show. I'll try to make sure to post that at least once a week or so. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's an option. But if you would like to send us messages about the show, ideas, thoughts, whatever, right? You can reach us at suchapiscespod@gmail.com, and that is spelled SUCHAPISCESPOD
You can also find us at Such a Pisces Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and of course, Facebook. Please interact with us there. Give us a follow. All those places. We're trying to grow our social media presence slowly but surely.
Yes.
And while you're at it, wherever you're listening to this podcast, if you're having a good time, if you're enjoying it, give us a good rating, give us a little rating, tell a friend, and share the good news of the Such a Pisces pod.
The good news, honey, the good news.
Why was that the thing that came to my mind? I don't know. Just share the good news.
Share the good news. Oh, that was great.
Yeah. Thanks. I don't know where that came from. It felt right.
I think you should keep it. Share the good news. Have you heard the good news? The Such a Pisces podcast.
The good news of our podcast. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. That was a good note, I think. On that note, let's get out of here.
Yes. Y'all be safe and protect your energy.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, I'm Such a Pisces podcast. My name is Sierra, and my really close, one of my best friends is Shelby. I met her in 2006, and her name was still Shelby Nace. And as one of the only minorities in a predominantly, white institution, an all-girls Catholic high school, I felt very isolated, but Shelby broke me out of my shell. She was one of the first friends I made outside of, friends that I knew from previous school. And one overarching dynamic of our friendship is I'm goofy and weird, and she accepts that and laughs at my stupid jokes and makes me feel like I'm a funny person. And so one thing that always happened is Shelby's got a moment where she's got her feelings. She's a Pisces. She's in her feels. And this past weekend, as she's telling me at her Halloween party that she's happy I'm there and glad I'm with her, I start doing a TikTok, shaking my wig back and forth, that I'm Puerto Rican. So that's it.